What's up guys, it's Jdog back here again, and in today's video we're going to check out the damage command. This is going to be for Bedrock and Java. This is going to be an awesome command that can give damage to players or entities. Not only can it give damage, a specific damage, but it can also give damage from a certain thing such as drowning, explosions, and it can be given by another entity. For instance, a cow could explode your player. And before we get into this, if you haven't got yourself a Minecraft server yet, head on over to SeekaHost.co where you can grab yourself a Bedrock server, a Java server, a modded server, or any other custom server that you might want to get started with. Links in the description. So let's get started with a simple command first. If you do a / and you type in damage, you're going to see that you have a damage command. If you press space again, you're going to see who the damage can be given to. Here you can give the damage to all people, to a specific entity. If you want to choose a specific entity, at this point you're going to put a brackets or a square brackets, type, equals, and then the entity that you want to use. You can also do it at the closest player, at a random player, or at yourself. You can also do this to a player name. So for this example, let's do this to myself. So damage, we've chosen the player name. Now we're going to choose the actual amount. So the amounts on here, how they work, if I put the number 10, is going to do me 10 damage. 10 damage is actually going to be 5 hearts. Of course this isn't going to apply because I'm in creative, so let's just go on to survival. Now if I'm on survival and I do the same command, you're going to see that's going to take 5 hearts for me. That's because any number that you put in is going to be divided by 2. So if I give myself 10 damage, that's going to take away 5 hearts. If I give myself 4 damage, it's going to take away 2 hearts. Pretty cool, right? And this doesn't just have to be done in your chat bar, this can also be done with commands. Very fun for minigames. Now this doesn't just stop here because we can actually choose where the damage comes from. So let's go ahead and check that out now. Now if we continue with the command and we press space over here, it's going to give us all the options for what the damage actually comes from. To actually siphon through this, you can just press tab if you're on a keyboard. Unfortunately, I don't know what you press if you're on Xbox or PlayStation. There is a button. So let's say for instance we want to do lava damage. So we want to do 10 lava damage, which is going to take 5 hearts. We can choose lava damage, or of course you can just siphon through and choose the one that you want. Pressing enter will then give you that damage. The awesome thing about this command is the fact that we can also give it from something. Let's say this chicken. So if I wanted this chicken to emit the damage, we're going to press space one more time and we're going to type entity. After entity, we're going to choose the actual entity or the person. For instance, if I want it to be this chicken right here, I'm going to do an @, I'm going to do space, the square bracket, and then we're going to choose type equals chicken. One thing to be aware of here is that this can't happen for multiple entities. So if I was to just do type equals chicken, it will try to do it from every single chicken on the server, and it will give you this response right here. So to make sure this actually works, what we're going to do is we're going to put a comma after the actual entity that you've chosen. We're going to put an R equals, so range, and let's do this at a range of 20, which should only have the chicken that's in range. So if we press enter now, no targets match selector. Reason for this is because the chicken's out of range. So let's get the chicken in range again, and let's do the command with the chicken right next to me. If we go like this, do the same command, you're going to see that it's applied the damage, and that's applied from the chicken right there. If I had 2 chickens right there, I'd get the same message. There can only be one source entity. Please adjust your selected limit to limit selection to just one entity. Now I can think of a huge variety of things that you could use this for, potentially a command to weaponize mobs, or weaponize a certain mob in a certain area. This can of course be done with other players. For instance, I could give myself damage, so if I choose myself as the entity, you're going to see that I've actually applied damage to myself. And as you might have guessed, you can also do this from @P, @R, @S. You won't be able to do this at A though, because if there's multiple players on the server, it's going to count as one entity. If you really wanted to divulge a bit more into this and get a little bit more complicated, you could do @A with tags. So a square bracket, tag equals, and then whatever the tag is. So let's say if you wanted it to happen with anybody with a tag of red to emit the damage to the player that's close. If let's say for instance you had it in a command block, that would be the way that you're going to do it. And that is pretty much it guys, that is the whole command and every variation of the command. If you do want a much more in-depth analysis or description with a guide for this, do check out jdogofficial.com where I do have a completely written guide for this. And as ever, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you are looking to start that Minecraft server of yours, head on over to SeekaHost.co. If it's your first server, use code 25OFF for a 25% off discount. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye bye.